Many years ago, I got into an argument and broke up with my girlfriend, believe it or not, over stuff. So she and I were thinking about getting engaged, and we had a serious falling out because she worried about moving furniture from her parents' place to our new place, and she complained about how I move around so much. Obviously, we weren't in quarantine at the time. I wasn't moving from city to city, but I was moving from suburb to suburb a bit. And she worried about her furniture, and I thought it was the silliest thing in the world. I hardly ever keep furniture more than a couple years at best, right? And if I move, I get rid of it. I had bought some furniture when I was in Phoenix. I got rid of it, right? It wasn't anything big, a table, a couple of chairs, and I just gave it to the new tenants, or I donated at Goodwill or something like that, right? Now fast forward, so we broke up. Well, not only over that, but she wanted children, which I can accept that a little bit better. I can't accept the furniture, especially the obsession with furniture. Now I moved into a house here in Mercer Island, and I've been waiting for today for a while because my landlord, he goes away. I thought, I can finally get cleaning because we have a lot of dust in the house, and I so desperately wanted to vacuum the living room. But he hangs around the kitchen. It makes me uncomfortable to move his stuff. I thought about offering to help him clean, but I didn't want him to think I was crazy or anything like that. So finally he goes away. And to my dismay, as I start cleaning, I realize there's some clutter. I move it, there's more clutter, and then I move some, and then there's more clutter. And I almost thought about calling the TV show Hoarders to see if they want to do an episode in our house, and at the same time get a cleaner house too, right? I don't want to go on TV, but if the side effect is I get a cleaner house out of it, sure. And to my further dismay, I really wanted to vacuum all the rooms in the house. And unfortunately, my landlord, he locked quite a number of the rooms. I'm hoping, but the fact that he locked his room gave me a lot of drive, because I'm hoping if I clean the rest of the house, maybe it'll convince him to let me clean the other rooms in the house too. So he calls today to check up on things, make sure everything's okay, and I tell him, hey, I wanted to vacuum our house because I have dust allergies, and I think you mentioned you did too. And but there's a lot of stuff, and could I help you? Maybe if you're moving from one place to another, I know you have a lot of other properties. Could I help you with that? He said it actually belonged to a previous tenant. And we're talking, and I discovered I thought it was just the other tenant moved out a couple days ago. I'm like, I can help him as well. And he says he hasn't heard from these tenants one of them for 3 months, another for 6 months, or whatever the case is. And I'm thinking to myself, when I first moved in, you didn't behave like that to me, right? You didn't offer concessions of allowing me to store my furniture here, right? There are plenty of things I would love to store, not lug around, right? See, can you imagine if I check out of this apartment, but I want to travel back to Phoenix? If I could leave my car here and take a flight there, and not have to worry about it. Oh my God, why won't you let me do that? I'm thinking that. I didn't tell him that, obviously, right? But not only is he unfair to himself, he's being a pushover with these. He's also not being fair to me, right? I have to live with all this stuff, and I'd love to use the living room as well, right? But more importantly, why do we worship stuff so much? Or worship the relationship if there's anything to it, right? Maybe check on your old tenants to make sure they're doing well. His old tenant apparently bought a house. Wouldn't hurt to call them and make sure they're doing well. But instead, we worship this inanimate object. It drives me nuts. It really does. It really does. Anyway, I thought I would point that out. Personally, I hate furniture so much. I almost, next time I move somewhere, I'll sleep on the floor now. Ever since today, I don't think I'll ever view furniture in the same light again. I almost thought about, to give you an idea of how frustrating all this is, I almost thought about causing some kind of accident where I spill something on the couch, or maybe a couple burn marks on it to make sure the tenant just doesn't want it anymore, right? I don't know. I'd rather reimburse the tenant than deal with the furniture.